theyeshiva.net.
So yesterday we learned the Rabbeinu Nissim, the Ran, in the beginning of Pesachim. And to summarize it very briefly, the Ran's Shitta, B'negeya B'dikas Chametz and Bittul Chametz, that he said he saw people are mixed up about it, and therefore he wanted to explain it. Re'isi L'farsham Yafa Yafa is basically that there are two maslalim, there are two paths through which you could get ready for Pesach according to Torah, Minat Torah. Two completely different paths, two alternatives through which a Jew could be Mekayim all of the mitzvahs that are connected with getting rid of the Chametz, which means the mitzvah of Tashbisu, to get rid of the Chametz, of course not eating Chametz, not benefiting from Chametz, and Bal Yirah, Bal Yimatzeh, not to have Chametz. What are the two paths? What are the two maslalim? The first one is what we call bittul chametz. What's the pshat? Bittul chametz, he explained, is that you make your chametz hefker. It's ownerless. You do this before Pesach, and therefore it's lo yirah lecha. You're not allowed to see, you're not allowed to have your chametz, but this is not mine because I made it ownerless. I was mavatal it. I said it should be like afar, like earth, like dust, and therefore it became hefker. Or as he says, Rashi says, he learned it from the word tashbisu, which means tevatlun. Tashbisu, it doesn't say tevaru. Whatever the source is in the psukim, lo yirah lechor tashbisu. But ben haTorah, there's this concept of bittul. And the Ran here was mechadish. How does it work? L'cha'ira. If this is the case, it should have the dinim of hefker. Meaning you have to say it's hefker. You can't just say it's like afar or it's bottle. When you say something is bottle, it doesn't make it hefker when it comes to anything else but chametz. And all the other questions, how does it work if it's in your heart? You have to say it. Dvarim shebelev einam dvarim. And the third question, like Rabbi Yossi, there should be a big chiddush in Masechta Pesachim, that just saying bittul chametz, that it's kafir dar, is worthless until it leaves your domain and it goes in to the domain of the Zoicha. Only then is there the Chalois Din Hefker. Those were the Ran's big questions on Bittul Chametz. So the Ran answers that Chametz is a different gather of Hefker. It's not the regular Hefker where you have to relinquish ownership. Because Chametz, Hashem relinquished the ownership. The Gemarah says in Pesachim later Davav that Chametz is not considered, there are two things that are not Birishusai. They don't belong to you. They're not your property. They're not your domain. The master of the world says this doesn't belong to you. Asay hakasov kilei b'rishusay. Just the Torah makes you liable as though it was yours, as though you have a shaykhis to it. Why do you have a shaykhis to it? Because you want it. But you don't really have ownership. You're not allowed to eat it. You're not allowed to have enough from it. You have no bailus. There's no schus mammon. It actually doesn't have. It's like a piece of dust. It's not like a piece of dust. But it's a piece of dust. How much are you going to sell a piece of dust for? What are you going to sell it for? A nickel, a dime? You can't even get a nickel for it. Can't even get a penny for it. Not even less than a shava pruta. Which is what a Jew, of course, here you could. I mean, you could, but we're talking mitzad halacha, the way Hashem looks at it, the way truth looks at it. There's no ownership. The only ownership is that you wanted it. You're not interested in Pesach. You didn't do bittul, you didn't do b'dikah. You're busy doing your own thing. You don't care about it. The moment you say in your heart, it's worthless, it's meaningless, I don't want, that's enough. That's it you need. You don't need to agree to regular hefker of something that you own. You don't own it. You just have to sever the last kesher, the last shaykhis that you have with it, and you're good to go. And how long does that take? That takes a second. It's a davar shabalev. That's the gather of bittul, and that's one maslul to save you from Bal Yirah, Bal Yimatzeh, to be Mekayim Tashbisu, and you're good to go. You're good to go into Pesach. That was the nekuda of the Ran. And the chiddush of the Ran was that this is even if it's chametz yadua, even if it's known chametz, it works, and you can still have the chametz dem in haTorah in your house because it does not belong to you at all, and you're not even liable for it because, in the Ran's words, what does he say? Begiluye daite ba'alma deloy nichele de lahavas chusa begavei klal sagi. By just revealing to yourself, to Hashem, your das, that you're not interested in it. Loy nichele, I don't need dafrish deine toivus, I don't need your schusim, I don't have any shaykhs. That's enough. Because you don't need the regular din of hefker. That's the big Ran, the Ran's big chiddush when it comes to bittul. Now you're going to tell me.
From Allah, you're allowed to have.
What?
From Allah, you're not allowed to have.
No, you can't have enough from Allah.
What's the difference from Allah? Why is that?
There's no Bal Yirah, Bal Yimatzeh in Arla.
You could have
Yeah. It's not like every moment I have arla in my closet, I'm being over on Isser.
Just don't. You're not allowed.
I'm not allowed to eat it, I'm not allowed to have a no. I should get rid of it, mitzvah takola. Chacham didn't want it, you should get rid of it. These are things you bury, you get rid of it because you could come to eat it. But it's not a Isser atzmi, it's like get rid of it right away. You don't have to. If you have to go do something, you go do something. It's not, where chametz every moment is an Isra b'yirah b'yimatz. So the Ran says you would say maybe there's only bittul. And there's Kleinman there's no concept of dikka and beer. He says that's not the case, and he proves it from all the psukim that the Gemarah brings of how to do the bdika from Torah. And you can't just say it's stam on asmachta. You want to bring psukim to support it because there's a machloikas how to do beer chametz. And Rabbi Yehuda holds you can only be mekayim through sreifa. If the whole thing is just a technical thing to get your house chametz free, so you don't have to do bittul, what's diksuzich? You're going to ask me a question, how do you get rid of the garbage on Rosh Chodesh Shvat? If you want to get rid of garbage on Rosh Chodesh Shvat, do you burn it? Do you throw it into the dumpster? Do you give it to a guy? Do you put it into the ocean? You want to get rid of to burn it, not burn it, minaf kamina. It's just that you want to push it physically, go carb free, gluten free, you don't want chametz. It's not a gedin in Torah. What's dikman sich with a meister? And then the Rabbi Akiva says, no, you have to do shreifa, and that's how you know you're not allowed to do it on Yom Tov. It says you have to do shreifa, you don't have to do shreifa. The mitzvah of Torah is bittul. You want to get rid of chametz, get rid of chametz on Purim, on Chanukah, on Rosh Hashanah. Before Rosh Hashanah, get rid of chametz. So the Chapshah, the Harayan, no. That beer is also an Indian in Torah. In other words, there's two maslolim, there's two, I'm looking for another word. There's two,
Pathways. Yeah. Pathway.
Okay, so I'm maslolim. There's lechatchila two mahalchim that the Torah gives in order to deal with it, and you can choose. You can choose. There's a mahal, but you can't mamish choose. We'll see in a moment. But be'etzem you can choose. There's two paths. One is the mahalach of bittul, but there's also the mahalach of bdika and biur tashbisu sa'ar mebatechem. The Torah says tashbisu, and it means two things. One thing is bittul, and one thing is bdika and biur. And if somebody wasn't mavatal, then they have to do bdika and biur in order to save themselves from bayirah bal yimotze. And as the Ran types barichas, that the moment you do bdika and biur, you're good to go, even if later you find chametz. Some chatayra la chazokas, you don't say that retroactively you're over because you had chametz there, because the Torah relies on chazokas. Chazokas means on the assumption that there's no chametz, because you did what you're supposed to do. You went into places where there's usually chametz, and you checked it out. It could be somebody brought in chametz to somebody else, somewhere else. Fine. That's not your achrayas. When you find it on Pesach, you have to be at Mavayer. But retroactively, you're not over on this because you did the right thing. You did bdika and biur, even if you never did bittul. If a person didn't do bittul, then they have to do bdika and biur in order not to be over on Bayirah Bal Yimotze. And that's why Rashi says, Rashi is talking about the perspective of Torah, where you don't have to do bittul. You could just do bdika, and there's a maila in bdika that bittul doesn't have. Because, what's the maila in bdika? The maila in bdika is, bittul is risky. Bittul, I really have to feel that I'm not interested in it. And what if it's a $2,000 bottle of liquor that's chametz, and I am interested? I can't say to myself, "Ka'afra da'ara, loy nichale." I would like to in theory, but I want it. Here, bdika and biur is the best thing. You can physically get rid of it. There's no chametz. Bittul has to be belev shalom. Bittul has to be with sincerity. Bittul is not about words. Bittul is the sincerity, the kavanah. Loy nichale. Basically, I agree with God. God says chametz is garbage on Pesach. I also say chametz is garbage. But what if I don't say chametz is garbage on Pesach? It's too good. It's too geschmack. So I have to really be honest with myself and say, you know what, I can't do bittul. I have too good chametz to do bittul. I have a lot going on in my pantries. If I do bdika and biur, if I fallen, I don't care if you're not interested in getting rid of it. You got rid of it. You got rid of it. It's good. But be'etzem, there's two ways. There's the path of bittul, there's the path of bdika and biur. And once you do bdika and biur, you're good to go. Even if later you'll find chametz, the Ran holds it's not a problem. You're not over lemafreya. Nonetheless, came the Chachamim and said, bittul is not enough. Even if you do bittul, you still have to do bdika and beer. Why, said Iran? Two reasons. One is because we're afraid that the bittul won't be belev shalom. It won't be with a full heart, as we just explained. As Iran said that what? The bittul is totally in machshava. And some people will not be moitzi milibam legamri. They will not get rid of the chametz from their heart. So the Chachamim were machmir and said, you know what? Do bdika and biur, which is enough. Because even if the bittul taka wasn't sincere, I don't care. Torah allows you to do bdika and biur, and you get rid of it. Or the second reason is the Chachamim were afraid that only with bittul, you may still come to eat the chametz by mistake on Pesach. Of course, if there's biur, that's not a problem. Our Mishnah, therefore, goes with the first mahalach and like Rashi, and says you don't need bittul min hatayra, you do bdika. Once you did bdika, you were yaitzer. Later, if you find something, you're not oivel lemafreya. Why? Even if you didn't do bittul, because soimchin al hachazaka. So even if you didn't do bittul, you only did bdika. It works even for chametz that you didn't know about, and it comes out in the middle of Pesach. So therefore, you don't need bittul like Rashi. You're not over on by Rabbi Yematzeh, even though there was chametz a whole Pesach, and suddenly you find it under the couch, or you find it in your bedroom somewhere, you find it in the bathroom, you find it in the boiler. It wasn't supposed to be there. You're good. You weren't over on by Rabbi Yematzeh. Now you have to be at Mavayir, Ein Chanami. Now, but that's only Mekana Lahaba. For the past, you're good. Why? Because Torah relies on the Chazakas, and therefore Rashi was right. If you do B'dikas Chametz, you save yourself from by Rabbi Yematzeh. And you taka save yourself, even if there was chametz later, even though you did not do bittul. And that's the mahalach mitzvah Torah. There's another mahalach. You could do only bittul in the chanami. You don't have to do b'dika and beer. And the chachamim taka said, "Oylar baser boitkinas and chametz by hook or by crook." Meaning, min Torah you needed, you could do b'dika and beer by Rabbi Yematzeh. Midrabanan you always also have to do b'dika, because even if you do bittul, and you covered yourself by your Rabbi Yematzeh because you were mafkir the chametz, the Chachamim still said you have to do b'dika and biur. Even though minat Torah now you don't have to because you chose the maslul, you chose the path of bittul, but the Chachamim said that's not enough. You always need the second one also because of the two reasons. They were afraid that the bittul wasn't sincere, or they were, and you're not the one who's going to realize that. You know, people, ain't they saying Shabbos, not everybody is so completely honest and knows exactly who's a help. Bittul, 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 bittul. Even Abba Yom Hazeh, people do bittul, they read in Aramaic, and they think it's about the nusach. Bittul has nothing to do with nusach. Much better to say it in Chinese, if you understand Chinese. Much better to say it in English, if you say it in English. Bittul is not about the nusach. Bittul is about the kavanah. So therefore, according to the Ran, the Chachamim said you always need biur, despite the bittul, for the two reasons. It may not be belev shalom, and shema yavoy le'achloi. Now came a second chiddush. This is till the Mishnah. Now came the chiddush of a later generation, Rav, who went the other way and said, even if you do b'dika and biur, so min hatayra, you're covered. Midrabanan, the chayra, you also covered. You're not going to eat it, and there's no chashash b'leiv shalom. You got rid of the chametz. You burn chametz. I don't care if it's b'leiv shalom or not b'leiv shalom. There's no bread. Those are nish b'leiv shalom. What's the difference? The bread is in the fire. The mashka is in the fire. It's gone. What's the problem? The problem is, you did b'dika, but you're not a malach. You don't have ruach hakodesh. You may have missed something. Either b'makom shemachnisim by chametz, you missed, made a mistake, you didn't check something, or your baby brought chametz somewhere else, but you were not mechuyev, you're not guilty. And now we don't blame you, but you're going to find it now. And it may be a gluska yafa, and you may delay the beer, and every moment you delay it, you're over from now. By Rabbi Yematzeh, and you mavatal the mitzvah of tashbisu. 3 yisurim, one is a bittul mitzvah and 2 loisas. If you did bittul in the beginning, you don't have a problem, because this gluska yaf is already not yours. So when you find it chalamayit Pesach, I don't care if you delay the beer. I care midrabanan, because you have to get rid of it midrabanan. Because remember, midrabanan bittul doesn't help. You always need dikkel beer. But at least you won't be over on a bayiram in a Torah if you did bittul in the beginning of before Pesach. So when you do both, you're covered. Because you did b'dika and beer, plus you did bittul. So when you find the gluska yafa, it's already not yours. There's no tashbisa, there's no bayira, there's no bayimatz. Now you have to get rid of it, but it's only a chiyuv d'Rabbanan. You won't be over on a menat Torah. That's why Rav was mechadish abayit tzarech sheivat. But we understand that this is a chiddush of Rav. Because naturally, Samcha Torah lachazakas, Torah doesn't always look for maybe. Of course, maybe. But in Torah, Hashem says, you did what you did, machzachish meshuga. Don't get OCD on me. Torah is not goydus OCD. This is not an union of Torah. It's not how God runs the world. I told you some things. I am a malamensh. You were boidik, you're good. You missed. It's fine. I'm good, you're good. And Rab doesn't have a problem with that. He just says, Mikano lahaba. A mensch is a mensch. He may not be so sensitive to the inyan. So let's just do bittul to cover that possibility as well. But that's a chiddush of Rab. The Mishnah was written before that. The Mishnah never had that din bittul. The Meilim Mitzad not din bittul. If you do b'dika and beer, you're good to go. And it saves you by Rabbi Yematzeh. And that was Rashi's mahalach. Even though there's another person who may do bittul and not do b'dika min atayra, and Rabbanan do b'dika, which is already a chiddush of the Mishnah. You always have to do b'dika. Erla arbasa b'itkinas Chametz is not only for a person who didn't do bittul, it's also for a person who did. If you didn't do bittul, it's by Rabbi Yematzeh. If you did bittul, then it's not by Rabbi Yematzeh. It's just to be ma'isiv the inyan of Shema Yaveh la'achloi, and also by Rabbi Yematzeh, because if the bittul is not good, of course you'll be over by Rabbi Yematzeh. So that's an important kvetch in the Ran, that since the reason is it may not be belev shalom. So the mele, if you did bittul and you didn't do b'dikeh, you may be over by Rabbi Yematzeh. So that's why Rashi is right. He doesn't say it clearly, but that's the geschmack in the Ran. That when Rashi says boit cannot be over by Rabbi Yematzeh, it's not only a guy who doesn't do bittul. Even the person who does bittul, and he only has to be boidik midirabbanon. But why does he have to be boidik midirabbanon? If it's mitzat shema yavil achloi, then it's just for the future. He may come to eat it. But the bittul was a good bittul. It's just you may come to eat it. But if the Chiddush chiddush is, it may not have been a good bittul. If it wasn't a good bittul, you're over on by Rabbi Yematzeh. So takim in atayda, I'm good. I rely on you. I trust you. But the Rabbanon said, don't rely on yourself. Let everybody do b'dika and beer. So now Rashi is right that you need to do b'dika. First of all, b'natayda mamish if you don't do bittul, and even if you did bittul. So the Tosfos says, if you need bittul, what do you need b'dika? But if the bittul is not b'leiv shalom, then you need b'dika. The Ran doesn't say this word clearly that I'm saying, but from the Ran comes out very geschmack that whichever way you look at it, the b'dika is not to be over by Rabbi Yematzeh, because the Ran is moiseh for a reason that Tosfos doesn't say, at least not befedish, and that is the inyan of that the bittul may not have been a real bittul.
Look, everyone, you need a oraner for the b'dika.
Do you need lo'er haner for the b'dika? Well, minat Torah, if you do bittul, then you don't need the b'dika, you don't need oir haner.
But the b'dika comes together with the oraner.
B'dika comes with oir haner.
So what's with the Rashi? Why is it helping if oraner is before?
So that's why I suggested that the lo'er haner in Rashi comes first, because from that, Rashi brings, why do you have lo'er haner? He says the reason is in Gemarah Daf Zayin. There's a reason in Daf Dalet, a very technical reason, because oir haner is good for looking around. But Daf Zayin, he brings psukim. What does the Ran prove from there? That b'dika is an inyan in Torah. If it's an inyan in Torah, then it's to be not be ever by Rabbi Yematzeh takim in Torah kipshuta. In other words, Torah says you don't have to do bittul. So Mele for 1500 years till this man that the Tanoim were misaking, you have to do b'dika before Pesach. A Jew could stand up and either do bittul, as I said, it takes a few seconds, or if he knew that he has good chametz and the bittul may not work, fine, do b'dika and be'yur amachaya. Get rid of the chametz, and then you're also good. Whichever mahalach you choose, you're good to go min hatayr. And then the chachamim came and put everything together. Came a rifka, everything has to go together. B'dika has to come with bittul, and bittul has to come with b'dika. Actually, the other way around. First was the takana of b'dika. The Mishnah is written before that there always has to be b'dika because of the reasons of Tosfos or the reasons of the reason of Tosfos or the reasons of the Ran. And then the second Nachana later, that even if you did a b'dika and beer, you still have to do bittul, shema, yimtza, gluska, yafa, because what's going to happen in the middle of Pesach. Thus is thus. And the Ran was Moisef, an important kvetch, that when Torah says do b'dika and beer, it's only in one condition. If you know you have chametz in the pantry, or in the refrigerator, or in the freezer, or wherever it is, or there's a chashash that you have chametz, because people use chametz there. But if not, you don't have to do anything. V'haraya, when you find a gluska yafa on Pesach, we don't say you're over l'mafreya. Either was chametz, It's not your problem. You did your responsibility. If I don't have chametz in my house, it's not a place machnisim by chametz, you're good. In other words, Torah doesn't say check, because maybe. We don't do that. Check if there is raglayim, if there's a basis for there to be chametz. V'haraya, when you find a gluska on Pesach that was taka chametz, you're not over. Why you're not over? You didn't find it. The answer is you weren't achroi. You did what you could. But if l'chatchila there's no chash for it, you don't even have to do anything. Just like if you did what you did and there's still chametz, you're not over. If there's no basis to think that there was ever chametz, my house is gluten free. The Ran said you're beseder. That when the Torah says tashbisu, it's bechametz yadua or chash mekoimis where you're able to bring in chametz. But if you don't have chametz yadua, you don't know of any chametz, and you don't have a house where anybody brings in chametz al derech haragel, even though we know things can happen. Oirach came to collect money. A yid came to collect money, and he came into the dining room and he left a black and white somewhere under the couch because he wanted your sudah. I mean, fine. My house, as far as I'm concerned, I don't have chametz. Samcha Torah la chazakas, or as one of the Rishonim says, like nitna Torah la malachi hasharis. Judaism was not given to angels who are perfect, who are impeccable, who are flawless, who are prophets, who know everything. That's the Nekudah. Let's just see the last paragraph in the Ran, in this piece. Uma, he finishes. Zehu daiti. This is my opinion. Not everybody agrees to everything here, but who al derech Rashi? Who al derech Rashi? Uma she'itzlichu, the last paragraph in this shtickle Ran. Uma she'itzlichu chachamim b'dike b'chametz yoser b'bashar yisurin v'lo ysamchu al b'bit. A general question. People have isurim in the house. You have a piece of treifet chicken in your house. There's no chiyuv b'dike. And B, or why here with the chachamim so machmir on chametz more? And so you'll say by Rabbi Yamatzeh, but we said bittul is good. Kfar kasafti, I already explained to you. She'asu kein kedei lekayim mitzvahs tashbisu. She'chasheshu lebnei adam shelo yivatlu b'machshavton legamri. They were afraid that the bittul is not going to work, and therefore you're going to be over on tashbisu and by Yirah. And if you want to add the second reason I said, they were also afraid you're going to eat it. That would still leave us with a question, because that chash is for all isurim. In other words, the first reason is very geshmak. It's only a problem with chametz. It's not a problem with any other isur achila, because there's no din tashbisu or bayirah bayimatzeh. So it's a very geshmak reason why they made you do b'dik. But the second reason, the Tosfos' reason, Shema Yavei La'achloi, that's a chash on everything. So the Ran says, what Tosfos says, Hainu Taima, the chashu beit feimi b'shad isurin, from the chametz lebdili inshe b'nei kula shata. Because chametz, people are used to eating a whole year. They don't separate from it a whole year. The chamir isur etvei, and he adds another vart, and the isur is more stringent than most other isurim, the isbei karis, where most of them are usually alav. You're not allowed to do it. If there's witnesses on Asra, there could be at most malchus, but that's it. Where chametz is an isur hana that is unique. A person eats basa b'chalav, a person eats chazer, a person eats horse meat, a person eats an avela, a person eats a treifa. There's no isur kares, there's no death penalty. There's no death penalty. A person eats, there's a few things that are more chamor. You have dam, you have chaylev, you have truma. But chametz is an isur kares. And he says, ve'efsher oid. And this is possible. Let me say one more word. He says, maybe that's taka the reason Torah says don't have chametz. Why? Because I'm afraid you're going to eat it. No. So everything, but there's an isur kares and loibdila in sheminei. So it could be that's taka the reason. That's where it could be that he learned pshat like this in Tois, this the pshat in Tosfos or not. But I'll come on the Ran says this vart clearly. This is the Ran, huh? There's options in the Torah. 2 options. That's the vart. Was gefällt dir nicht? You never heard that there's options, huh? Well, you have to get rid of chametz. How? There's options. There's options.
How come by
Start what from the Heilige Yitav Live. Someone get from the Yitav Live. Huh? Yaitav Live. Yaitav Live. Yaitav Lev. Sagt azoi. Steht in Parshas Re'eh. Sholosh pa'amim b'shana yirah kol schorcha. es pnei Hashem Elokecha. B'makom asher yivchar. B'chag hamatzos, b'chag hashvuos, and b'chag hasukkos. Right? We say it in the Musaf of Shalosh Regalim. We just finished saying it a whole Tishrei, a whole Sukkos. So the Yaitav Lev asks a question, Gavaldik question. The structure of the pasuk is very strange. Shalosh pa'amim b'shana, yeira kol schurchas pnei Hashem Elokecha. 3 times a year you should show up. Let me tell you now where. B'makom asher yivchar, in the place that Hashem chooses. And then he goes back, b'chag hamatzos, b'chag hashvuos, back to the time. Shalosh pa'amim b'shana, b'chag hamatzos, b'chag hashvuos, b'chag hasukkos, yeira pnei Hashem Elokecha. And then b'makom asher yivchar. That's how you write the sentence. The other way, it's very problematic to write it that way. If you want, Shalosh Pam Bashana Yerakol Schurcha, Espnei Adon Hashem, then write B'chag HaMatzos, B'chag HaShavuos, B'chag HaSukkos, because you want to get into Pram. Then say B'makom Asher Yivchar. So he teaches Shalosh Pam Bashana Yerakol Schurcha, Espnei Hashem Elokecha. Hashem made 3 times a year for you to show up. Why 3 times a year? Because B'makom Asher Yivchar. Because every person has to show up to God in the place that he himself chooses. B'chag hamatzos, u'b'chag hashvuos, u'b'chag hasukkos. It says in Svarim that Chag hamatzos is connected Avraham, Chesed. Chag hashvuos is connected Yitzchak, Eloi shel Yitzchak, the Koil HaShoifer of Matan Torah. And Chag hasukkos v'Yaakov Nasa Sukoisa is connected Yaakov Avinu, which is 3 midas, Chesed, Gvura, and Rachamim. And he says every person has a different Mahalach HaNefesh. One person connects through this energy, another person connects through this energy. He has to be able to find and choose that which touches him, that which excites him. You can't put on him another Mahalach HaNefesh and force him into it. He's not going to be able to connect to that. You have to be able to find your energy and connect to it. That's what after Makam Hashem. It's with the month, your Shiloh just the month. So that's the mahalach of the lamp. I don't want to be mayrich in it, but I'm just going to say one nekuda. And that is, in Teres HaNister, it's explained that bittul and bir chametz is all an avoid in the person himself. Told us Yaakov Yosef has a whole shtickle on this, Barichis, the Sefer told us Yaakov Yosef. And in many Sfarim of Chassidus, including many places of Chassidus Chabad, the Bechlal, and Talmidei Abba Shem Tov. This Ran gives a very powerful perspective. There's 2 maslulim how you get rid of Chametz. One is bittul. How long does bittul take? A sekunda. What do? Basically, it doesn't belong to me, and you're done. And it's all belev. It's not me. It's not my Chametz. It's not me, and you're done. You're fine. You're good. You get rid of it. You liberate yourself from the chametz. It's not mine. It's in me. It's in the house. I know. I have to look at it. I have to deal with it. Burn it. But what the avodah is 1 nekuda. And how long does it take? 5 seconds. A minute, 10 minutes. It's a nekudas hanefesh. The moment you're there, it's not mine. It's not me. It's not my atzmis. It's not what I want. It's not who I am. It's not my answer. Boom. By your elbow, I don't care. It could be there. But you don't own it. And the Ran is Moisef even deeper than that. You don't even have to do that. The Eibishter tut us. You don't even have to be at Mafker. Hashem did it. All you have to do is that's maskim zayin. Huh? Oh, a minute. It's myself. You don't even. That's the chiddush. You don't have to do it. The Torah does it. Hashem does it for you. He says the chametz doesn't belong to you. You're already good. The only thing you have to do is das maskim zayin mit Neibishter. That's it. That's it you have to do. You have to be maskim to Hashem. You have to basically identify and see yourself from God's perspective. And then you're good to go. You're ready for Yitzias Mitzrayim. How long does it take? Essentially, it says in Zohar, Tshuva is b'shayte chada u'b'riga chada. B'riga chada. The Gemara says in Avodah Zarah, when Rabbi Elazar ben Derdaya passed away, he cried. Lo yiniach isha zoyne. The Gemara says, Lo yiniach isha zoyne, Rabbi Elazar ben Derdaya. And after that, he went, the Gemara in Avodah Zarah, Yud Zayin, Yud Ches, you know the Maisa, yeah? There was a Yid, Elazar ben Derdaya, he was an interesting guy. Lo yiniach isha zoyne. Wherever there was an Aveira, he had a first-class ticket there. Wherever there was an opportunity. And once he found somebody, and the Gemara says, in the middle of doing what he was doing, so he let out ear. He let out ear. So she says, that's you. That ear is going to disappear forever. That's you. And she got him. She got him. And he did shuvah, and he died. So Baskel came out and said, Rebbe Lezer ben Derdayim zumen l'chaya elam haba. He's going to elam haba. Bacha Rebbe v'amar. Yesh koina elamoy b'shah achas. V'lo yoid el shekoinen loy Rebbe. And the kavod na Rebbe. And the kavod na Rebbe. Today nobody is surprised. But then it was a chiddush. It was a chiddush, but uftim nach Rebbe. Rebbe was weeping. So there's a taich, I once heard from the Rabbi, he said, Shah means an hour, but Shah also means turning. It says by Hevel, Vayisha Hashem Alev. That Yesh koina ilami b'shachsi taich, Ayid ken koina zayin ilami mit ein ker. Mit ein ker. Ein direi. Ein ker, that's bittul chametz. Ein direi. How long does it take? That's what it is, it's a tnuah. It's not 10 minutes, an hour, 10 hours, 10 years. Ain't tnuah, ain't shah. Why? Because you don't even have to do it. You don't need the dinim of hefker. Hashem does it. You're chelik alekam imal. The problem is Shema Yavei Lachloi Bittul Dav Zayin Belev Shalom. It's emes. But to be able to get to that place, to really liberate yourself from chametz and say, "This is not me," it's a one tnuah, but it's a tnuah that transforms you. So the Chachamim said, you got to do some therapy. It's a much more complicated path. You got to take a candle, and find it, and be it mavayir and get rid of it. Because bittul be'etzem is a derech, but it's also a nekudah with Shema Yavei La'achloi, and it could be not belev shalom, and that's the avodah. And throughout Pesachim, you have these two mahalchim, so it's not just the nigla and halacha, it's also an avodas hanefesh, two in yonim, and the Chachamim said you need both. Say you need b'dikah, and say you need bittul. Avodah tzarech shevat.
So b'dikah is genig.
B'dikah is auch nicht genig. Shema Yimtze Gluska Yafa, and he's going to go crazy. Yeah. Shema Yimtze. Huh? Yeah. Shema Yimtze Gluska Yafa, and he's going to lose it all. This doesn't help because the Nekudas HaBittel wasn't there. Bittel Tartamash. Huh?
Day and night.
Side by night, side by day. Yeah. So this is the Derech Haran in order to explain Rashi Shalaver of Abayira Bayimatze. According to this, what emerges from the whole Inyan? What emerges from the whole Inyan is that when it says Oylar Basa Boitkinas Achametz Loida Nesh Lavra Bayira Bayimatze, you're talking about, like the Iran says, a Jew who didn't do bittul. A Jew who did not do bittul. If he did bittul, then Tosfos is 100% right. Elamai, I think it's right to say that it's deeper. As I said before, that even if you did bittul, since the Ran was moisav, the reason belev shalom, it comes out you still have to be boidish lava by Rabbi Yimatze, even though takanat min atayra. But with the Rabbanon, takish lava by Rabbi Yimatze. But Tosfos can't agree to this because Tosfos holds it's only mitzad achila. Never need a bayra by Yimatze. So you have a bagel in the closet. You weren't over by Yimatze. Elamai, I'm afraid. It's a schwache mensch, you forget you're going to eat it. But loy diran, it's takish lever by Yimatze. Not bevadai, but mitam safek. If it's taka, you didn't do bittul, then it's bevadai lever by Yimatze. Even min ha'toyre, because you have chametz. If you did bittul, it's not a vadai, but it's still shaloi laver. Because the reason Chachamim said b'dik is, one of the reasons is, because the bittul wasn't belev shalom. So Ibazoi, it's mamish a geschmacke mahalach to be able to answer Rashi's shitta, why he says this, and to answer all the questions of Tosfos. Say if you want to look at Torah itself, and even if you want to bring in the Rabbanon, where it says Haboidik Tzarech Sheyevatel, I might say even though this is not mamish what the Ran said, V'haraya, the Ran said that the Mishnah was written before Haboidik Tzarech Sheyevatel. No, the Ran's mahalach is that Rashi is talking in Torah, and therefore it's before Habaydik Tzarech Sheyevatel, and you don't have to do Bittel, and you have to do Bdika and Biyur, and it's enough Minatayra. Later the Chachamim added Bittel, and then it's Taka by Rabbi Yimatzeh, and if you do Bittel, then it's Taka not by Rabbi Yimatzeh. Rashi was talking that Mahal. I just want to add, it's not Mamish Diran. It's similar, but it's not Mamish Diran. That there are other Rishonim who answer Rashi a little bit different. Again, very similar to them, but a little bit different. And that is the Meiri, Rabbeinu Menachem HaMeiri, and the Maharam Chalva. The Maharam Chalva was one of the Rishonim. He was a contemporary, he was a friend of the Ran. Also lived in Spain in the 1300s. Rabbeinu Moshe Chalva. He's known as the Maharam Chalva, and actually the sefer that's left from him, even though he wrote on Shas, is Masechta Pesachim. It's a very precious Pirush on Pesachim from the Maharam Chalva. And he says this, and the Meiri says this. The Ran had a Rebbe, Rabbeinu David, Bunfid, Chidush Rabbeinu David, also one of the Rishonim who lived in Spain, a little older than the Ran. He was one of his Talmidim. And he also says this Vart. It's not mamish like the Ran. It takes one Nekuda, but it goes a little different to answer Rashi. And that is, they say that like Rashi, the Ikir way of dealing with Chametz is B'dika and Biyur. That's the way. Balabatish. Bayom Rishon Tashbisu Sefer B'teicha means go in and get rid of the Chametz. That's the way. When Torah says Tashbisu, the first Pirush Ein Mikri Yotzim in the Pshuta means be mashbis, destroy the Chametz. How to destroy the chametz? A machloikas at Hanoim. You have to burn it. You could crumble it. You could throw it into the water. That's a machloikas, but you have to get rid of it. Take it and destroy it. Obliterate it. That's the mitzvah. That's the maslul. That's the maslul. That's the word. Elamai. If you don't want to do this, there's an alternative, and the alternative is, let's say I'm Purim. I'm mafkir all my chametz, and I get rid of it. So then I don't have chametz. Erev Pesach, I don't have to do tashbisu. In other words, bittul is just an eitzah that if before Pesach you get rid of all your chametz, you're good to go. In other words, if you are mafkir, it's not yours. The mitzvah is tashbisu. What's pshat tashbisu? To destroy. And that's why Rashi says, boitkin as a chametz, because that's what the Torah says. Elamai, and this is the mitzvah that comes Erev Pesach by Chatzois. At 12 o'clock, there's a new mitzvah, get rid of chametz. If 11 o'clock, if you're not interested, 11 o'clock in the morning, when there's no chiyuvim yet, or 9 o'clock in the morning, or a month earlier, or 6 months earlier, you made all your chametz ownerless, fine. Because okay, you made it hefker. If I have a piece of cake in my house, and I say it's yours, and I give it to a guy, even if it's on my counter, fine. In other words, that's not the tashbisu. That's not the chiyuv of Pesach. The chiyuv of Pesach is biyur. And bdika and beer go together. You do bdika to do beer, and that's why Rashi says, that's it. Elamai, bittul is an eitzah. You shouldn't have to come to it. And it's taka not an eitzah for Pesach, because once Chatzois happens, it's off. Now starts tashbisu. What's tashbisu? Beer. That's the mitzvah. Not like the Ran who says that bittul is the chatchila, the derech that the Torah said to do it. Elamai, the Chachamim came and mixed it. The Ran even has a havam in it. The bittul is the only way, and bdika and beer is a later invention, even though he does not as maskana. That's their mahalach in answering Rashi.
Still an option.
It's an option, but it's a different type of option. It's a backup plan if you don't want to deal with the mitzvah. In other words,
It's an option.
it's like if you, let me ask you a question. Tashbisu. And what if you come to the Rav and you say, I don't want to eat carbs anymore? Am I going to be over on anything? No. So you don't have tashbisu. It's basically not having a house free of carbs. That's it. It's not a mitzvah Erev Pesach by Chatzois to be mashbaz. You don't have chametz. That's not takanas hacham.
Takanas hacham is still going to be with the dika.
That works min Torah also. Hefker works min Torah also. Then came the Chachamim, and the Chachamim said, even if you wanted to do that, you still have to do bdika and beer. That everyone agrees. It's a Mishnah. And the Chachamim later said, even if you do bdika and beer, you still have to do bittul. We're talking now min Torah. But that gives a geschmack why Rashi says, right, because like the Ran, Rashi is only right in saying this, min Torah if you didn't do bittul. Because if you did bittul, you're not over by Rabbi Yimatzeh min Torah, unless you bring in the chashash of the Chachamim. But this is a geschmack of art that taka in ganzen any situation. You buy the I bittul. Bittul is not an eitzah to be not over by Rabbi Yimatzeh. It's not the way the Torah established it. it's a way out, not to come to the problem because you don't have chametz.
So all around, what's the question of Tosis? Tosis' whole premise is avoided to the Shiva. You need bittul, not the question of the
So what do you need b'dika if you're anyway not going to be over by your Rabbi Yamotzi? Eminat Torah bittul is enough. So on this Diran answers that Minat Torah you don't need bittul. And the Mishnah is talking the way it's Minat Torah, and you only need b'dika and biur, and therefore you're not over by your Rabbi Yamotzi. You don't need bittul. Later they said you have to do bittul.
What was Tosis' question? The whole Tosis starts with the premises that avoided to the Shiva.
So the answer that by the Shivatel came later. The Mishnah is earlier. Rashi is explaining the Mishnah. You're right. Now we're not doing b'dika shlar by Rabbi Yamotzi because I have bittul. Ein chanami. I was just moisiv that loideran. It comes out that even after bittul, right, there's still the chshasha by Rabbi Yamotzi because it may have not been belev shalom. I want to show you the way this is summarized in the Shulchan Aruch Harav, in the Shulchan Aruch of the Alter Rebbe, the Baal HaTanya. It's known that his Shulchan Aruch has the Hagdoros of Halacha, the definitions of Halacha. The Shulchan Aruch of the Beis Hezbollah was written without timing; it's just Piskei Dinim. The Shulchan Aruch Harav, the Baal HaTanya wrote Shulchan Aruch, and every halacha he was Magdir, the Geder, the Tam, Barichas. And you see it in all of his halachas. Hilchos Pesach is a unique chibur. I want to show you how he summarizes this. We made copies of a few. We're going to start off with the last copy you got, which is this page. Say on top, Hilchos Pesach Tov Lamed Aleph. It's a long page. Hilchos Pesach Tov Lamed Aleph. Siv Beis. I'm going to read fast. But you'll see a Haggadah, you'll see Sikumim here also. So you have a full picture. This is Tov Lamed Aleph and Hilchos Pesach Shulchan Aruch Harav Siv Beis. Umahi hashbasa zu shamra Torah. What's the hashbasa that Torah says? Hu sheyashbiz v'yevayer hachametz min ha'olam legamri. This is how the Rishonim that I just quoted said. Hashbisu means get rid of the chametz, get it out of the world. Shum adam lo yuchal oid lahanis mimenu al derech sheizbar b'simen tov mem hey. Aval im roitzel levatlo lafkiriens and moil klum. The tashbisu of Pesach, which is Erev Pesach by Chatzois, means physically destroy the chametz that nobody can benefit, which means either burn it, nobody can eat ashes, or crumble it, make crumbs, and you're not going to sell a crumb that you put into the sea. A piece of chametz, a crumb, you put it into the air, a fire of Azar Laruch, nobody can have enough from it. That's the mitzvah of Tashbis. Avalim Reitzel Levatlo Lafkireins and Moil Klum. Erev Pesach Chatzos, you decide you want to make the chametz ownerless, you want to be a Mavatal, sorry, too late. Ba'amed Varim Amurim, it's too late. You see his Agdar. Ba'amed Varim Amurim, it's too late to do Tashbisu. La'acher Shegiz Man Yisra Chilosim An Osim in HaTorah. If you hit deadline, cutoff time, the time of Isra Achil and Anah, the Hainu, Mechatzois Hayom Yudalad Olamayla. Midday Erev Pesach. If the sun rises 6 o'clock, from 12 p.m., you can't do Hefker anymore. Anybody who eats or benefits from Chametz from midday Erev Pesach transgresses or loises a shenemar, loisoichal alav Chametz. This is a pasuk in Parshas Re'ei, Keloimar al Korban HaPesach. You can't say loiseichel of chametz means don't eat chametz when you're eating the Korban Pesach, which is the night, the Seder night. Should I cry nema v'loyachol chametz already says you're not allowed to eat chametz the 7 days of Pesach, including the night. Ela bola hazir shloilechel chametz b'shas shchitas haPesach. Dainu mechatzois yom yudalad olamayla. Loiseichel alav chametz is when you're being makriv of the Korban Pesach, which is from midday Erev Pesach in the afternoon. From then is cut-off time for eating chametz. The chachamim have a tradition. She'isur chametz b'yudalad doimel isur yikol zayin yemei haPesach. She'kashem shekol zayin yemei haPesach hu asur afilu ba'anah min haTorah. The isur on Erev Pesach is like the other 7 days, just like the other 7 days. You're not allowed to eat and you're not allowed to benefit. Shenemar v'lo yei ochel. It says lo yei ochel. It doesn't say don't eat chametz. It says it should not be eaten. Ask Chazal, you don't eat it. Whenever the Torah uses these funny expressions, it's always to teach something. Don't do anything with the chametz that brings to eat, even if you're eating something good, which basically means don't sell it, make money. The regular thing a person used for money, the staple thing for money was to be able to sustain yourself. That's how people understood the purpose of money. In other words, it's called heter hamevi l'dei shum achila afilu shel heter, which is heter anah. Kach mechatzos yemidal delamaylo asur afilu b'hanah. V'kivon she'asu le'lohanis mimenu. Since from midday you can't have anah from the chametz, harei ein lo shum schus boy. So you don't have any schusim in it. You don't have any schus in it. You have no privileges. Ve'eino sheloi klal. It's not yours at all. Let me ask you a question. I could take your house and make it hefker. I could take your jacket and make it hefker. I could take your computer and make it hefker. V'komich to your thing. There's boundaries in the world. Chametz after chatzos, it's not yours. You can't do anything with it. You say, I'm making it hefker. You're making what hefker? It doesn't belong to you. You have no schusim in it. There's no bailus. You're not the balabos. Something I'm not the balabos. I can't make hefker. I can't take your house and put it up for sale. Why not? It's not mine. Chametz is not yours. This is only chatzos. But before chatzos, 11 o'clock in the morning, 9 o'clock, let's say 9 o'clock in the morning, and then you can leave it in your house. Why? You're only over on your own chametz. You're not allowed to see on Pesach your chametz. You're allowed to see on Pesach other people's chametz. You're allowed to see goyim or other people. It's not your isur. I mean, call you a raven, but you're allowed to see a goyish chametz. You're allowed to see hefker chametz. So he says like this: Tashbisu means get rid of the chametz. When erev Pesach by chatzos, make a fire, destroy the chametz. We'll see later the chachamim added an hour, 2 hours. Shut. But you want to be at mafki, you want to be at mavatal, sorry, it's not going to work, it's not yours. You can destroy something that's not yours. You can't be mafkir something that's not yours. It's not yours to be mafkir. You don't have the bailus on it to say it's ownerless. You have to be the owner to say this is ownerless. You're not the owner anymore. But before in the morning, you are the owner. You make it hefker, you made it hefker. And once it's hefker, leave it in your house. But that's not tashbisu. Like the down, that is tashbisu. Like this mahalach, according to many Rishonim, it's an eitzah. It's a good eitzah. It's a fine eitzah. But it's a different type of eitzah. This is the eitzah that we call bittul. This is the eitzah that we call hefker, which like Rashi also learn out from tashbisu. Even though he says you learn out from Leirah Lecha, which is the other shitta of other Rishonim. If you find a gluska yafa and you will mavatal it, no, it's not yours. You don't forget if you find a gluska yafa, you can leave all the chametz. Forget gluska yafa.
This is halacha l'maisa.
Min ha-Torah. It's halacha l'maisa min ha-Torah. Not l'maisa, but halacha min ha-Torah.
You're making something. You're being something model that's not yours. It's not yours. You just said. I'm being mevatel something that's not yours.
I'm being mevatel in the morning. Erev Pesach, it's mine. In the morning, it's mine. Right. 8 o'clock in the morning, Erev Pesach. You have a house full of chametz.
You didn't make.
And I make it ownerless. Gesundheit. Leave it in your house. It's not yours.
You forgot. You didn't
if
do
you
it.
forgot to do bittul,
you didn't do it.
You have to do it. So 12 o'clock, you got to do beer. You only have one eitzah. If you got to do bittul, you have to do beer. No question. Siv Gimel.
But on Pesach, it's not yours.
On Pesach, there's no hefker anymore. That's his word. The moment you hit 12 o'clock midday Erev Pesach, min ha-Torah, you can't be a mafkir. Why?
It's not yours.
It's not yours. Einer shalai. Umipnei avol chachamim gazru.
I shouldn't be chayav either. It's not mine.
That's what we explained. The Gemarah says that shnei dvarim einam b'rishusam, b'rishusam v'asoi ha'kosav ki'ilu b'rishus. Avol chachamim gazru. Came the chacham and they said, listen to his words. She'ein bittul v'hefker moil klum lechametz av koidim she'igiyaz man nisr anas. That's his agdara. And you'll see these words are a serious definition. The chachamim came and said, bittul and hefker are worthless for chametz, even if you did it before this man nisr anas. Meaning you did it Erev Pesach in the morning. Ella, hu tzarich lechapes acharav b'mechbayos u'b'churit. You have to search for it in hiding places. Only if it's a derech to use it and bring in chametz. And check. And get it out of your property. And do to it the mishpat, the way that we're going to discuss in Tov Mei, how to get rid of chametz. Interesting lush. There's two reasons was some gestupt. Niskaku means a chachamim felt they have to. In English you would say compelled. Two things compelled. Shnei dvarim iltsu. Iltsu, they compelled it. Niskaku, they felt they have to do this. Ha'alef, reason, and he says two reasons. Ha'alef. Lefi sha'bitul va'afker toli b'machshavtei shalom. Sheyafkirenu b'leiv shalom v'yotzienu miliboy legamri. This bittul is totally in your mindset. You have to genuinely take it out of your heart. Not everyone has the same sensitivity. He'll do lip service or just, go through the motions. But he's not really making it. He's not really relinquishing it from his heart. So the Chachamim said we have a problem. So what are we going to do? So they made a gzeira she'ein bittul v'hefker moil klum for nobody, even for the tzaddik hadar. Bittul and hefker will not help at all. Ad she'yotzi achametz mikol gvuloi, until he physically does bdika and beer, which means eradicate the chametz from your entire property. That's what bdika is. You look for it and you get rid of it. It goes out from your gvul. That's what they said. You did bittul. Minatayra, you're good. But the Chachamim said bittul is not moil. Habei is another reason. We're used to eating chametz all year. Whatever is a habit automatically becomes ingrained and it's easy to forget. Whatever you're used to doing, you forget that it's prohibited. And therefore they said before the time of Isra Achila, which means from Chatzos Hayom where you're not allowed to eat it, because from then we're already afraid you're going to start eating it. You have to make sure to, the Rabbanan said, you have to make sure to get rid of it. Now, okay, one more thing. Was sagst du?
The second time was like Russia or like Tosis or like Iran.
The second reason was brought Sayin Tois for Sayin Iran. The first reason was brought in Iran. Now take a look, page Mem Vav, Hilchos Pesach Tov Lamed Aleph. Was Tov Lamed Aleph was what we just learned, and now we go to Tov Lamed Dalet, the last paragraph. Se'iv Vav, Siman Tov Lamed Dalet Shulchan Aruch Harav Se'iv Vav. Okay, page Mem Vav, it will say on the top. It's a double-sided page. Take a look. I'm going to read a little fast. Now he's going to go to describe bittul. V'achar habdika, after you do bdika, miyad yevatel kol chametz sheyesh b'chol gvul shleimatzim bdika, u'bittul zeh takonas chachamim hi. After bdika, you have to immediately do bittul. What are you mevatel? You say kol chamira v'chamiyah deika b'rishusi. The lo chazisei. What I did not find in the bdika, I'm being mevatel. After bdika. U'bittul zeh takonas chachamim hi. As we learned, haboidik tzorich sheyevatel. You have to do bittul. V'lama tiknu chachamim. Why? V'aloi afim nishinu kama perunim chametz b'zavi z'b'chayrim b'zdakim shleimatzim b'bdika hanim teilam me'aleim. What's the problem? There's crumbs. Who cares? You're not chayim on them. They're bottle on their own. Meaning, ein tzorich levatlam ulafkiram. Sheme'aleim heim hefker. They're hefker on their own. Some things enough to make hefker. Sharei einam chashuvim klal b'einei b'nei adam. If I go into your house and I pick up dust and I take it out, I'm a ganev. Some things are hefker because einam chashuvim klal. They don't mean anything to you. It's garbage. It's nothing. Bailus has to have, there's a relationship between me and it. It's worth something to me. Einam chashuvim klal. A crumb. You can't be over on because it's not a mitzvah. There's no bailus on it. So what do you have to do? Bittul. You did bdika. There's a crumb in the kitchen. I don't care about a crumb. Let's say you would find it in the bdika. A yid who struggles to have food, he wouldn't need it. Sorry for him. Why? because there's no value to it. Even if he needs food, there's nothing there. He can't feed it to his kids. Why the Chachamim say do bittul? We already said that bittul is not enough for two reasons. But here you're doing bdika. They said you have to do bdika and beer. Why? Because bittul won't work. But here you're doing bdika. You're getting rid of your chametz. Crumbs, I don't care. It's bittul on its own. It's hefker on its own. I don't need me to make it hefker. So why did they say I have to do bittul? Ella. Lefi shechasheshu shema nishra gluske yafer shel chametz be'echad ben azav yizeh be'echad ben achayim shalei matzah b'dik. You're not a malach. A beautiful piece of chametz stayed somewhere in a hole and you didn't find it. V'ilu haya moitza ha'isa chashuva be'ena. Not a crumb. If you would have found it, it has a chshivas. V'lo haya mafkira. You wouldn't throw it away because it's a nice piece of cake. One second. So it's not bittul on its own. You're going to find it on Pesach. And what? You weren't mevatel. And now you're going to be over on Bayiro. You have chametz in your house. It's one of the basic conditions. I'm not talking till now. Till now you're good because we said you did what you have to do. See how he puts it all. What's the problem? You'll find it. You'll burn it. What's the problem? You're not over my Rabbi Yamatzeh. Till now, we're not worried. From now, you're going to get rid of it. So good. You're in the middle of a telephone call. Somebody wants to sell you the Brooklyn Bridge. You're in the middle of a maisa. Whatever, you're going to delay it. 10 minutes, 5 minutes, an hour, 2 hours. Now you're going to buy it. These 10 minutes you over on a lav. If you were mevatel your chametz after bdika, meaning you said, whatever I didn't find is bottle, that gluska yafeh that you're going to find in 6 days, you were mevatel. There won't be a bayira. Why? Because it was hefker. It's hefker. Don't think you don't have to burn it. The Divrei Seifrim you will be over on bayira because they said you're not allowed to have chametz in your house, even if it's hefker. So mainly you have to burn it, but there won't be a isam in Torah. Zion. This Zion is critical. Why? Here he puts down the Ran's chiddush and bittul in his words. The iker ha bittul hu belev. Here are the words. Bittul is in the heart. But what's pshat? Sheyosim beliboy. These are words. It's a quote from the Rambam Hilchos Chametz of Pesach with a few changes. Sheyosim beliboy. In his heart. Kol chametz sheberishusah areyu ki'ilu einoi. Bittul means that in your heart you feel that all the chametz in your house and your domain ki'ilu einoi. It has the same faranenkite as though it doesn't exist. What's pshat? What do you mean? It does exist. Does exist. What's pshat? Bittul hayesh. Does exist. The answer is ve'einoi chashuv klum. V'hareyu ka'afar. U'kedavar she'ein bo tzorich klal. It's like you see something in your house, literally a grain of sand, a piece of dust. It exists, but there's no value. It's like dust. I have nothing with it. It doesn't do anything for me. Not I want it, not I need it, not I'm interested in it, not I'm engaged in it, not that I feel something. I have no shaykhs. It's absolutely valueless. It's a nice piece of cake. It's a nice bottle of vodka. It's a beautiful pie of pizza. It's as though it's nothing. It doesn't exist. He removed his das. That we just learned. That but this is not yours. It's hefker gamor, and then you can have. I just said bittul is believe. Came the Chachamim and said, you got to say it. V'yoymar, kol chamire, the ikebir shusi, the lochazise, u the lobiyarte. Why the lochazise or the lobiyarte? Because this is after b'dikas chametz. You already found a lot of chametz. That chametz you're going to burn. This is the chametz, this is the gluska yafa. We're talking now about, we're afraid of that nice piece of bread. Levatul v'lahave ka'afre da'ara. Why ka'afre da'ara? Pirush lefi shazov nikra gamkin offer shenemer va'afrei zov loikim v'shekosab yeridei chavches katzorich lefarish afred hara. Gold is sometimes also called offer. But mainly when you say ka'afra kamen nachmein, I found them in sea of gold. Ka'afred hara, we mean afred hara. But the Chachamim wanted you should say it bedibur. But don't think the dibur is the bittul. The bittul is belay. Ask the Baal, ask the Shulchan Aruch Harav, reg dal Rebbe. Va'afal pi shemishe roitze lahavkir nechasa va'amra re nechasa ka'afar ein ze klum. I want to make my nechasim ownerless, and I say my house is like offer. Ein a moil klum. You're not allowed to come and move into it and then sell it to somebody else. It's an isur of gzela. Mikol makayim. The pshat is azay. Kivon shezeh chametz. This chametz. B'shor she'over elav b'bal yirah. When he's over on Bal Yirah, when he transgresses Bal Yirah, Einoi Shaloi Klau, it's not his. Ve'ein loi shum chelek uschuz boy. Let's remember, why did the Chachamim say you have to do bittul? Shema yimtzak luska yafa, right? And you're going to delay it a few minutes, and you're over on Bal Yirah Bal Yimotze. This time, when you're being over on Bal Yirah Bal Yimotze, is this chametz yours? No. And you have no part in it, and you have no schus in it. Schus means privilege. When I own something, I have privileges. I could sell this phone, I could sell this jacket, I could wear it. I have a schus, it gives me something. I have a house, I have a car, anything you own. It's a epis, it's a hefza. What do you have from this chametz? What can you do with it? You can put it on eBay. What are you going to do with it? Garnish, with garnish, with garnish. Why? Are you going to ask a question, so why is he over? Now listen to his words. These are his original words. This doesn't say in the Ran Mamish. The Torah made it like his. What says? Sheyehei shmoi nikrolov. So hasten Chaim Yankel's chametz. It's not Chaim Yankel's chametz. Chaim Yankel doesn't have with it. The Torah said there's a relationship. It's called Chaim Yankel's chametz. Sheyavrela by Rabbi Yamatz. Shmerel is not over on the chametz. Chaim Yankel is over on the chametz. Is a Chaim Yankel there? Chaim is there. But Chaim Yankel is not shouldn't be. It's not his. It's not his. Him and Shmerel have the same relationship to this chametz. They both can't do anything. The answer is, since it was his, and he wasn't interested in getting rid of it, so the Torah says there's a relationship, one relationship, Nikra Shmoyalov. The pizza in the freezer, Hayes Diner. The cheese Danish, Hayes Diner. It's not yours. You can't do anything with it. Shei Nikra Shmoyalov. His name is associated with it. In other words, when the so to speak, when the police look, they want to see which car, which license associated with this car. Yei Nikra Shmoyalov. Whose name is called on this chametz? Me, the owner. It's registered to my name. Lefichach, because this is the Yisoid. Ein tzarich lafkiri b'loshen hefker gamor. You don't need here a language of complete hefker. Elo, kshu mesiach daita. When you revert your mind, umevatel beliba, and you mevatel the chametz in your heart, umachshivoi ka'afa, and you say, I have a relationship with it. I don't care for it. For me, this is worthless. It's offer. How do you have a relationship with dust? Anybody picks up a dust, say, I love you, I like you, you want to be my friend, you want to have a chalatzonis. There's nothing here, nothing here. That is sufficient to relinquish, to sever your name from it. That's what I have to do with chametz. With every other thing I make hefker. Not shouldn't be mine. This jacket is mine. This phone is mine. This Gemarah is mine. I want to be at mafker, make it hefker. Chametz is not mine. It's hefker. Hashem made it hefker. I shouldn't be over. The Torah keeps that association because it holds you responsible. Why does it hold you responsible? Because your name is on it. You embraced it. You didn't do anything with it. You didn't do tashbis. If you would have done tashbis, it would have been good. You didn't even do. You didn't destroy the chametz. If that's the case, when he's mesiach das, when he disengages from it, and he says, I took my name away. That's it. I took my name away. Me and this. Why? This is meaningless to me. It's offer. It has no chshivas. Mevatli believe, and that's why the lev is so important. It's disengagement. Shaloye nikra shaloy. It's enough to be mafkia. The Shema shouldn't be called shaloy. V'lo yaver olav klum. And therefore you will never be over anything on this chametz. That's the mechanism of bittul. That's the mechanism of bittul. Mela, after the b'dika, when I do bittul, I say ka'afra da'ara, that wouldn't work in hefker. Says here it works perfectly. You do this before the zman that Bayir Rabbi Yamatzah starts. You're doing b'dika and beer, we already explained, shemayim segluska yafa. But because you made it hefker before Pesach, so the gluska yafa won't be over. You didn't make it hefker, you just said ka'afra. Right? How does that work? The answer is, it's made hefker on its own. All you needed to do was be meisiach das from it. Be mafkia your shame. Umikol makoim. Kol medaktik b'maisa. Somebody who wants to be medaktik, you fadet befedish. You fadet befinush habitul b'loshen arami loshen hefker gam. You don't have to. You could say offer and it's good. But to be medaktik, it's good to say clearly hefker. In other words, even without this whole pshat, it should work. Also din hefker. V'yoyma, you could just add laheve hefker kafra da'ara. Kafra da'ara.
This language does.
Was?
This language.
Well, the next sif is why Aramaic? And the answer is taka, because the whole Nakud of Bittul was to understand it. And since everybody spoke Aramaic, and that's why today when people don't speak Aramaic and you don't understand it, you have to say it in the language you understand. Because that's the whole Nakud. The words are almost insignificant. You don't even need words. It's all an inyan of dikto.
This class is brought to you by theyeshiva.net. Please help us continue the classes. Make even a small contribution at www.theyeshiva.net/donate.